Welcome back, everyone, to Anger, Sadness, and Envy, the Rampancy podcast. My name is Narcogen. I'm the webmaster of Rampancy.net, the Bungie fan site, and I'm here with Blackstar of Blackstar Productions.
Hi, how's it going?
And we're here to play level 4 of Bungie's first game in the Marathon series, Marathon 1. This level is called Defend This. It's the first level in the chapter called Counterattack. In the last level, Leela gave us a job of collecting 3 replacement chips for the Marathon's automated defenses, and now we have to go place them. So let's go take a look here and see what Leela has to say. But we also know better than to just blindly run at a terminal. We know that usually there are bad guys lurking around who'll ambush while we're using it, so here they come. It's not a technique Bungie used a lot in Halo. In Halo, usually your encounters were pretty straightforward. You could see where the enemy was coming from. A lot of times they would come down in a dropship, but no secret monster closets for Bungie. No secret doors that open where the guy just comes out from right from behind you. But they still do the ambushes where, until you make a noise, the enemies are inactive. So anyway, let's take a look at this terminal and see what Leela wants us to do now. Okay, so it says here Leela's got a report from the science team who've done postmortems on some of the dead aliens, 3 different kinds who are 3 different species. So something that we'll see a little bit later in the Halo series, of course, a group of aliens working together that are not all from the same species. In Halo, it's the Covenant. In this case, the lead species here is called the Four. And we get this piece of information from Durandal. Leela says she's established contact with Durandal for the first time since the attack, and he seems less damaged than previously thought. This is the first time we really get an idea that there may be something funny going on with Durandal. Durandal reports he's been in communications with the aliens, and that the aliens call themselves the Four. We've mentioned the name before, but this is the first time the game comes out and tells you that this species of aliens are called the Four. Those guys we just killed now. The guys kind of look like grunts, with their gas masks and their color-coded uniforms, except where the Four have really long, thin limbs, grunts have really short and thick limbs. And the other species is called the Svit. They're the ones that attack the computer networks, and those are the floating guys with the big red robes, the Svit compilers. So anyway, Leela here is going to tell us to insert the circuits in the defense control terminals. These are the chips that we got last time. This is the terminal we're at. We just entered from the hallway below us. And you can see here off to the right, these 3 hexagonal areas. These are where we're going to place the chips. Okay, this room along the route, which is kind of just before the end game, has a shield recharger. In the access control room, you can also see those 5 red squares there. There's an elevator. There's a little button puzzle we'll have to solve to get to the end of the level. Here before this is just a left off the main path, is a supply room with a supply of ammunition and weapons. There are going to be some MA-75Bs there for us to pick up, and we really should stop there because since this is a segmented playthrough, we're not carrying over our weapons from the previous level. We're just carrying on with the starting pistol. And here are the 3 terminals. 1, 2, and then the last one. All right, so I think we're ready to go.
There's nobody sneaking around the end of the corners here that we can see. That seemed to be an empty room.
Yeah, just some ammo in there, and this is the big elevator. We've got to go through and find the secret door. Oh, and this guy coming out of me right before the lift's even done. Oh, keep that door open. I'm pretty sure that if this reaches the roof, it'll smash us, so don't want to stay in there. And as we've already discovered, if somebody dies and has to respawn, you go back to the beginning of the level, and you cannot get through that door. So
it's a feature.
So we've got to make it through without dying, which of course on normal shouldn't really be a problem as long as we don't make any really bad mistakes. Like that.
I was doing that on purpose.
Yeah, that time. Okay, so here we are. We've in the supply room. We've got the MA-75Bs. There's actually 3 of them in here. Don't think we can play with 3 players, but there are 3 of them anyway. And yep, the save terminal again. We're not gonna mess with that. We know it doesn't work. And we'll just head back to the main route. and take the right fork. It's rather ominous looking red room, but okay, here we go. Is this the gauntlet? We just have to peg away at the 4 fighters here. Again, we haven't really run into any of the really dangerous 4 yet. None of the troopers, the guys who use machine guns. These guys just have staffs. So, nothing too much to worry about. As long as we're paying attention.
Don't jinx it.
Okay, and another lift. Nothing dangerous about this one, though. I think we just go up. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Yes, and this is the dark room. Again, we talk about... Careful. Here, watch it with that thing. You still have pistol ammo or not?
I haven't used my pistol yet, so
Okay.
yeah, I would assume I
it's
have
easier
plenty.
to take out the guys in these notches with the pistol, probably. Or a grenade, you know, that works too.
I can't tell the range on this, or what actually would be effective.
Okay, got one of them. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that one's down.
And again,
All right, what about to the right?
I talked about... Whoop, no, I think that's it. They're all down. I don't
Okay,
see anything
good.
on the radar. All right, so those weren't really monster closets, but you can see the design is kind of similar. They put these guys far away in the dark, and you can't see them until they fire their weapon. Okay, around the corner.
Watch your right.
Oop, okay, back up a little bit. Oop, dodge. All right, let's make sure we don't miss anything. Let's just check and make sure we're not okay, missing out on this. Whoa, big room. Okay. I think this is actually the main route. We may need to check that other area, make sure we're not missing anything. Compilers.
Want to draw them out?
It's not a problem yet. And again, to see how tough it is to fight 2 people at once in this area.
Oh, and close
Are guys
quarter
coming
combat in
behind
the narrow
you?
hall.
Are guys
Nope.
coming up behind you or?
Nope. It's clear.
Oh no, it's the defense. It's defense drones, but we haven't activated them yet. Oh, that's weird. All right.
Are they set to auto trigger?
This is the main route, so let's go back and make sure we don't we haven't missed anything here, because I think there was another corridor that we were gonna head down. Yeah, left here. Left here. And I think it's just this little maze. Yeah, there's some ammo on the floor.
And there's a recharge terminal.
Oh, Core, look out! Behind you, behind you! Okay, yeah, there's another terminal. As well as a recharge station here to use if you want. And let's see what the terminal has to say. Okay. Search heading, rampancy. It is a side effect of rampancy that AIs generally become more aggressive and more difficult to affect by subterfuge. Actually, disassembling a rampant AI is quite dangerous. This was evident in the crash of Traxxas 4 in 2206. So I won't go through all of this, but this is an interesting background text for the world of Marathon that talks about what rampancy is, about rampancy dividing into 3 stages. These stages, of course, are they source the name for our own podcast, a slightly different variation. I think they talk about melancholia, anger, and jealousy, and our version is a little bit different. It's anger, that's sadness, anger, and envy. But anyway, we will come to find that rampancy is very important in the Marathon story a little bit later. This is just some background text on what it means. It's basically an AI that's growing in an uncontrollable manner, and gives you the idea that rampant AIs are extremely intelligent as well as dangerous, and that some people had always thought that if a rampant AI could be made stable and harnessed, it would be very useful. And well, that'll become important later when we run into Durandal. Okay, so that's what there was down this end, and now we can head back towards the main route and reactivate the defense systems. Whoop. And yeah, I could have sworn I heard some machine gun fire there, like these drones were working. I didn't kill all these guys in here. At least, I don't know if you did. I didn't.
Oh, I think I did.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we were hearing them fire, but these are, of course, the MADDs, the Marathon's Automated Defense Drones. And, of course, you could probably see how the design for Halo Sentinels kind of fit from this, these flying mechanical enemies that'll help you out in Halo against the Flood. So anyway, we're just going to push the button. It's the only thing in the room to do, and it will lower this platform and let us out of this room. Want to grab that ammo over there, or?
Yes, please.
It's over here. That's over here where I'm.
Oh, I grabbed some other ammo.
Oh, okay. Okay. Again, still just 4 fighters so far, nothing really dangerous. Oh, and another terminal. Okay, so this is Leela, again, summarizing some more information about the 4. 4 are generally thinner and lighter than humans, and are superbly adapted for low gravity. There is several different distinct clans. 2 clans of 4, Fighter and Trooper. Troopers are armored for vacuum conditions and carry a combination explosive and impact projectile similar to the AR-75. So in other words, there's another version of the 4 we haven't seen yet that are going to have a mask for working outside the ship, and they're also going to have a grenade launcher type weapon with a machine gun like ours. There are some other races that they have enslaved. One called the Hulk, enormous and slow, but immensely strong.
Not to be confused with any other particular Hulk that may or may not have actually been seen by anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Not the Incredible Hulk, but these are different kind of Hulks. But you'll see these kind of archetypal enemies show up. A Hulk is a little bit like what it would be a hunter in Halo, although
surprise.
Marathon has its own hunters that are also a little bit different, actually. Again, like Halo, they are armored and they have weapons built into their suits. But again, instead of being short and stocky, they are very, very tall. Okay, the science staff have difficulty finding a good specimen of the Sphit. Again, that's the guys in the robes. To autopsy. The only specimen autopsied was almost completely destroyed, but it's obvious that they are cyborgs of some kind. The biological component is so closely linked to the machine that it could never survive without it. Very interesting. Okay, so let's keep going. And we should be getting near... Okay, here's some more Sphit compilers. Maybe take these guys out. And some ammo. And
That looks like to be a garbage can.
Yeah, the drones are already fighting. Even though we haven't put the chips in anywhere, the drones are fighting. You can see that, that compiler is fighting with a drone right there, and that actually saved us from having to do that ourselves.
That's a plus. Got some ammo.
Yep, some ammo here. Oh, you got it all.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting
anyway,
that's not something
what we have to do is, well, hit the buttons. Okay, and this is the first little door puzzle. Putting the buttons make some of these door panels go up and down until you hit the combination. And, you know, there's probably a pattern to it, but usually it just helps to just keep hitting the buttons until you get what you want, and then go. No, we're not. So far, we're not getting it.
Oh, wait a minute. No, when you hit that switch, the door opened. There we go. See, it opens up this thing in sections.
Yep. Okay, so now we're through. And we don't have to go back, so we don't have to worry about doing that again. Okay, and again, this is the final button puzzle. Whoa, where are those guys? They're down there. Careful, do not use a grenade there. You do not want to hit the window ledge.
No, I would die instantly. So, shall we flip the switches?
No, not yet. Let's take the guys out first. Might as well, since they're coming up to try and get us anyway, so... Ow!
Is that the last?
Yeah, it looks like it. Motion tracker's clear. Okay, so again, 4 buttons, and there are several different pillars here. We have to push the buttons in such a way that these rise and form, you know, a single floor that you can walk across. Does that work? Is that working now? Can I jump across that?
You can try. I don't see why not.
I mean, I know that's not technically the right solution because I've seen the right solution where there's basically no jumps to be made. You just... Yeah, okay, so that's good enough. I mean, that's a good enough solution. But I know that it's a way to make that into a single unbroken floor so you don't have to make any jumps. Anyway. Okay, and these are mashing platforms we have to run through. Okay,
Yeah.
here's Leela anyway. Oh, you've not completed your mission. You must replace all the circuits. And they are, of course, on the other side of these mashers. So
Who designed this ship?
Exactly. Same guy who put a racetrack at the end of the... Okay. I got it. I made it through. And here we are. These are now, of course, there are going to be guys in these rooms. So maybe they're technically monster closets from one standpoint.
Ow, that hurt.
Okay, so 1. Now watch out here.
Oh, you jumped in front of me.
That's 2. Oh, I am out of grenades. Do I have any pistol ammo? Yeah, I do. I have a little pistol ammo. Okay. And 3. Alright, so... mission accomplished. And now we just have to head back towards that terminal. Oop. Ow.
Oh, you almost got killed.
Yeah, almost. Almost.
Boy, that would have been a tragedy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there are those safe zones. I mean, and if you look at the map, you can actually see the puzzle. It's really quite clear. And
Yeah,
there
the
are
little
these
triangles.
Triangle safe areas that are not going to destroy you. Okay, well done. I have the defense drones activating all over the ship. We've already seen some of them, in fact. Reports from security forces are jubilant. We actually haven't seen any security forces other than drones. But
Jubilant or otherwise.
We will see some crew members a little bit later. Now the 4 will encounter stiff resistance, and they will pay in blood for every move. The colony appears to be under attack. We've already known that, of course. The colony ship is in orbit around Tau Ceti, and we are simply the empty colony ship orbiting above. 7 4 dropships have entered the atmosphere only minutes ago. The trajectory indicates the ships are heading for the outskirts of the colony, and shortly thereafter I lost communications. Something has come to my attention. I will inform you after teleport. Okay, so that was level 4 of Marathon. We're getting to see a little bit better picture of what's going on in the story here. That of the 3 artificial intelligences on board the Marathon, at least 2 are still functioning. Leela, who's been helping us fight off the aliens, and the mysterious Durandal, who was thought to be destroyed, but now turns out has actually been in contact with the aliens and has given us a little bit of information about them, but not too much. And we've seen a little bit more of the way Bungie designs their encounters in terms of having ambushes and traps, and also a little bit of button puzzles and a little bit of jumping puzzles. There's some,
and of course, the dreaded monster closet.
Yeah, I would still say it's still not as obnoxious as what you see in Doom, where there's so many places in Doom where, you cross a threshold and a big door opens up behind you, and yet there's this tiny little room that has a bunch of monsters in it for no reason. Here it is kind of hard to explain what those 4 were doing in those little, niches on the wall.
Well, that was the fashion of the day, so...
Yeah, but it's not that obnoxious. And of course they're just doing projectile weaponry at you, so it's not as if they're, coming up within melee striking distance of you from behind. It's not. They don't play that dirty. And the game is not quite as difficult. I think you could say that, going from, say, Pathways into Darkness through Marathon to Halo, that each of the game is getting to be not necessarily easier, but I would say that it's got a flatter difficulty curve, and it's friendlier to novice players in terms of giving you a tutorial. For instance, Halo has a tutorial. All the games start out with a little thing that goes through your motion controls and stuff like that. And these earlier games don't do that. They figure you already have to know what you're doing, and you have to look at the manual. Because games used to come with manuals. So thanks very much for joining us for this level, and we'll see you next time. Blackstar?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye to the people.
All right, now, our first attempt to get to this hidden secret terminal here, the Garrett White terminal, was unsuccessful for a number of reasons. One of which being we're really out of practice at this game, and the other being that the physics engine of Aleph 1, which comes from Marathon Infinity, is different from that of the original game. So what the guys did when they released the game is that here, where you're supposed to do this jump, they added some invisible ledges, and you can climb up them and fire a grenade at the last minute and then make it to this area. The terminal just teleports you to a series of other rooms with teleporters where you have to fight some enemies. Here I've already defeated them in my first attempt. Here you can see the last 2 of them, one wasp and one compiler, and here is the Garrett White terminal here in this room. Now, the Garrett White terminal is about the longest and strangest worded. It does come via both Leela and Durandal, and it's a kind of rambling narrative of a guy who's describing an extremely strange situation, this feeling of being disembodied, of hanging in space, of having experienced being in prison, having a fear of rats. A lot of influences here. A lot of it reads very much like Ender's Game, some of the early stories where Ender is abused by his fellow students and wants to retaliate against them. Some of it sounds a little bit like the phobia that Winston in 1984 has about rats. And ultimately, this probably is a short story written by some member of the Marathon development team. I don't know whether it was written specifically for the game or whether it was something else that found its way here, but there are a couple of theories about who this person Garrett is. Obviously, through the game, we don't ever really know who the protagonist of the Marathon story is. He's never given a name. We never see his face. He's only ever referred to as a security officer. But later, we're going to see some clues to the fact that there are a group of 10 military cyborgs called Mjolnir that are very secretive, most of which were down on the colony and presumably killed during the invasion, and one is missing. And the intimation is that the protagonist is this missing military cyborg, who may in fact, these cyborgs may have been created from the reanimated corpses of prisoners. So this may mean that Garrett White is actually the player's character in this story, and that gives you a kind of a gruesome backstory, somewhat similar to the story that the Spartans get in Halo, where children are abducted and put into a rigorous military training program, as well as given various kinds of genetic and physical enhancements in order to make them super soldiers. Something similar may have happened here with the idea that they've, again, recycling prisoners and turning them into super soldiers. So anyway, that's the Garrett White terminal, and it's reached by performing that grenade hop. Again, it can't be done easily in, or at all really, in LF1, and that's why those invisible ledges on the left-hand side. But in any case, regardless of which engine it's done in, that is the correct way to perform that grenade hop. You're actually not supposed to do what we did, which was run straight up against a flat wall and try to fire a series of grenades down. That won't work. What you have to do is move over to the left side of the wall and aim both down and towards the wall, and as you move along the wall towards the ledge, fire a series of grenades that will bounce you higher and higher. So anyway, thanks for joining us for this little bonus edition, and in any future episodes, if we fail to find a secret area, point it out to us and we'll go back and try to catch it for you. Thanks very much, and see you next time.